Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, ladies and gentlemen on Twitch, we are about to begin our next run, which is going to be Jak II in the Any % category by Reconditee. Remember, before I hand things over, do remember we're trying to raise money for Special Effect, a fantastic charity that definitely deserves all of your support. They create and distribute custom gaming peripherals to disabled children and adults alike to give them the games that they love to play. Now, with all that said, are you ready to begin your run?
And we're off. Right, this is Jak II. It's all PS2 classic, but I am currently playing on the PS5. So the graphics may be look a little bit nicer. It's off to a great start so far. At the moment, we're just trying to escape prison. Jak has been a naughty boy. He's in prison for tax evasion, something along those lines. So at the moment, we're just this area serves mostly as just an introduction to how all of the mechanics for the game are going to work, like all the roll jumps, all of the fast tech, all that kind of thing. And I'll try my best to explain everything that's going on, but forgive me if I miss anything. If I am correct, actually, I do believe some of the Jak Speedruns community are in the Twitch chat at the moment, so I'm sure they are laughing at me right now, but I'm sure they are also more than happy to answer any questions in there should I get anything wrong, should anyone else have any questions, as in the Twitch chat as well. So yeah, just escaped prison. This is Dark Jak. It's a power that we've been in all seriousness we've been experimented on. It's not been lovely. So power we've been given, and it's first being unleashed right now, and this right here is off to a really good start actually, because we've got our first sumo. These spawn via RNG, and if you're not great with RNG, then well, no, if you've got really poor RNG and the game just doesn't like you that day, you're not going to find one, and we're going to need one of these to pull off one of the first tricks of the game. So yeah, I should mention this game is very, 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 very broken. Very broken, so I was practicing in the hotel room and practicing in the hotel room, and Dad even made a note of that, how broken this game can be. So we're just going to jump out of bounds here and take a death, and that will take us to the next part of the city, which will allow us to progress even further. There's a lot about the bounce movement in this game you'll come to realize very, very quickly, which honestly is fun. I love this kind of stuff in a speedrun, but I understand it isn't for everyone. A lot of people say there's no point in playing the game at this rate if you're just gonna break the entire game to beat it as fast as possible. But you know, I find it really fun. You know, it's a whole new aspect of the game that you can learn, and that you can have fun with, you know. So right now we're going to perform one of the biggest tricks in the early game. This is Mars Tomb Skip. We're going to jump over the barrier out of bounds, and I'm going to try an uppercut. This might not work. It didn't work. Okay. I mistimed my jump and my spin. So the idea there is to die just before just as the area loads, so it puts us in the actual area itself. Which there is a backup to that, and as you can see, we've got RNG RNG is kicking us in the backside here, but should be fine. We've found a vehicle. We can only use these little vehicles because it's you can jump with them, and you can't jump over walls with a massive 80-ton vehicle, I suppose. So yeah, just gonna jump over the wall, and I'm gonna go over here, and we're gonna restart the mission. We're gonna punch into the door and then restart the mission, and it's gonna put us into the tomb. This is the Tomb of Mar. We're not supposed to be here until really late into the game, just before the final act. So the game's split up into 3 acts, and we're not supposed to be here before the end of Act 2, so no, we're just casually here within the first 5 minutes. It's lovely. It's very fun. Love this game. So doing the uppercut thing I just did there to try and load into the tomb would have been a lot faster than doing what I did with the restart warp, but because we died with it, because I'm terrible, we, you know, it happens. So yeah, we're just gonna clip into this pillar and go under the water for the next major skip of the run. Apologies if I'm going too fast with this, by the way. I'm just trying to get my thoughts across, and it's a very fast-paced game, so I'll probably miss 1 or 2 little details. So this, I'm gonna focus up here a little bit, and it, of course. So that's what can happen if you try and rush it like I just did there, but I'm gonna try that again. It's same concept. I can actually explain what I'm going to be doing here now. Actually, gonna just jump up here. Jump up. There's like a little invisible block here that we can jump onto. We can high jump and then go into this pillar. We push forward. This should be fine. Yeah. Push forward and we can go out of bounds again. We're gonna roll jump through this water. Try and get through to this area. So this skip is called Dax the Chase skip. Usually we're supposed to go into this room with a giant boulder and get chased by a giant boulder, but I don't really feel like doing that right now, so we're gonna go skip this. And I have to be very careful with my inputs here. There you go. That's what we like to see. That's okay. We've got the unfortunate thing here as well. We've died again. Oh, it's going so well. That can happen. I moved a little too far to the right, which clipped me back in bounds, and I tried to get out of bounds, but I fell back out of and died again. But it's okay. As the saying goes, third time's the charm. You know, we'll just try it again. So this skip was actually one of the more recent discoveries. Essentially what I'm doing, I'm tricking the game into kind of thinking I'm dead. So the game puts me in an invulnerability state, so I can't take damage. So usually the dark purple goop that I'm jumping into is supposed to kill me, as I did before. But if I can get a swimming state through the invulnerability, then like this, nice. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit more careful this time. There we go. We're in. Now is the second part of the skip. We're not over yet. So, because we have invulnerability, we're going to go past the boulder. Usually that will just flatten us completely. Jump at the spider, and then we just miraculously turn back into Jak. And we are introduced to the best mechanic in speedrunning behind the BL2 Super Mario 64. Yeah, this is the hover glitch. You will be seeing a lot of this throughout the run. Just counting in my head. Oh, we dropped it. Oh, okay. That was so close. Essentially, this is the end. We're hitting a checkpoint here, and we've skipped the entirety of the chase sequence, which is really fun. The hover glitch essentially is trick cancelling with our hoverboard here. And we get because tricks give us height, we can get infinite height with the hoverboard, but we only go in the one direction. It's quite hard to learn, quite hard to master and pull off, but there is something I've actually forgotten to do, and I need to pull it up right now really quick. I need the patterns. I need the tombstone patterns. Give me a second here, apologies. I have them on my phone. I probably should have printed these off, so I'm gonna have to oh, it's been really nice to me here actually. This is 4N. This is 4 Jak2N, which is that one. So the next one is right here. Nice. So essentially, as a community, we have found the optimal pattern for these. Usually, there's 6 patterns that can play at random when you hit this tombstone. There's 6 patterns that can play one of those 6 patterns can play at random when you hit that tombstone, and as a result, we found out which pattern is which, and we found out which tombstone to hit as a result. So we can do that room pretty quickly. Otherwise, we just rely on memorization, I suppose. Just gonna skip this here and restart the mission, and that will put us into the first boss fight of the run, which is fun. This is gonna be RNG hell. That's another term that you can add to the terminology for this game. RNG and hover glitch. That's the terminology for this game. So essentially, we're just going to kill all his minions and then hit all of his bombs back at him. Ideally, we don't want to miss, but also we want to hit 5 at him like that, because if we hit 5 at him instead of the regular 4 that you usually need to hit at him, it will damage him for his next phase. So I'm only going to need to hit 3 bombs in this next phase, which is really nice. Nice and speedy. Obviously, we don't want to get hit there. It's completely fine. Right. So there's 1 bomb. You see his health bar went down to half. Then there's 2 bombs. I'm gonna skip this one because these ones are a little bit closer. Ooh, okay. Well, that has ruined exactly what I wanted to do, but that's completely fine. Essentially, because we didn't hit 5 bombs in that phase, now we have to hit 4 bombs in this phase. We have to hit 4. He's been really nice with the RNG here, putting that one right next to us. So we're going to go into this side, and he's going to pop up in that hole again. So I'm going to go over for this bomb if I can. He's gone. So I'll just spin it there. I mistimed where he would be. I need to learn like the proper arrangement of this fight, because it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Not the easiest thing in the world to do. This manipulation, I'm going to stand on this side so he pops up there and fires the bomb immediately instead of firing his little laser and then firing the bomb, just to speed it up a little, and that's the boss fight. So it's pretty safe, pretty fast. So there are a lot of scary things coming into this run very shortly. That is one of them. The boss fight is one of them. The Dax the Chase skip that we talked about before with diving into the bomb, into the eco, is one of them. Those are 2 scary parts, but there's still a lot more to go. This is a very, very terrifying run. So yep, on my way. We now have free reign of the entire city. I should mention that because we've essentially skipped 66% of the game just by doing those skips, and because of that, we've been given access to everything we should have had up to this point. The game's like, oh, you're in this section, then obviously you should have done everything else by this point. So we've been given the hoverboard, we've been given all our weapons, we've been given all our gadgets that we're supposed to have at this point. We have access to all of the city, things like that, because usually you're supposed to unlock them throughout the story, but we're speedrunners, we don't have time for that, you know? Yeah. So what you saw there actually was a death warp. We're going to be doing a few of them through the city, essentially jumping into certain out of bounds areas will warp us into different parts of the city, just to make us traverse it a little bit faster, because our other modes of transport aren't the fastest. Like our jetboard is pretty fast, the vehicles, they're pretty fast, but nothing is faster than just teleporting, you know, so do a little hover over here. I've never seen anyone other than one other person do that hover, and I'm pretty sure I was the first who did that hover. Never ever seen anyone else do it. There's another hover glitch here, and we've honestly never seen that before. So this one is the run killer. This is one of the run killers. This one is a very scary mission. But you know, second tries to charm. Second tries to charm, we've landed out here and essentially skipped a really, really long section. It's not too long. It's just we kill a bunch of guards and we progress to this area. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and it can actually be pretty hard. I'm gonna jump through the wall because in this game the walls are jokes. So yep, jump through the wall, just get through that area faster, and that's the entirety of that mission done. We're back into another little free roam section where we're going to go over to the sewers mission now, which is a lot of fun. Well, I say that, no, this mission is not fun. If you've played this game casually, you will know just how not fun this mission is. Because this mission is, we're escorting three of, we work for a crime boss in the story, essentially. We're escorting three of his men to this hidden statue underground, and if even one of them dies, the mission's over. There's no checkpoints, it's not very fun. But the speedrun, pretty self-explanatory, it's no different. We're just gonna, instead of going to talk to our crime boss friend, we're just gonna go into the elevator and restart the mission. And as a result of that, we just skip going to the crime boss entirely, which is really, really nice. So we're gonna wait for the door to open, and there they are, those three. Gonna just blast ahead of them really, really quickly, and clear this next room. Fastest way is just to punch and shoot them, nice and quick. We're gonna go back over here and zoom into the pretty texture on the floor, because it's a very nice floor texture. There's actually a reason to do that, but I don't think I need to do that because I'm on a PS5 and my game loads pretty quickly anyway. I think I mentioned briefly before, but yes, I'm on a PS5. This is an original PS2 game, so it will be a little bit faster. A little bit faster load times, but this game does still have a tendency to crash, which is something, actually, now to think of it, I didn't fully consider in this, so if it crashes, I do have a backup plan, but it's not going to be very fun, so we'll try our best, we'll see what happens. So we're just going to walk into the wall here, just wait for it to explode. Nice, exploded. So the idea is to go through here, kill these two as fast as possible. I don't think I killed them fast enough. No, I didn't. So the idea is to kill them fast enough so these two enemies behind us don't spawn. Those two enemies behind us won't spawn if we kill those two enemies in front of us fast enough for whatever reason. I think it's actually easier if you switch the game to any language that's not English, because the dialogue, I can't remember if it progresses faster or slower, but due to that it makes that trick a little bit easier. We're just going to wait here for these next two to spawn, wait for our friends here to catch up a bit. Okay, oh, he's not dead. There you go. Wait for our friends to catch up a little bit, and off we go to the next section. So, nice. And nice. Okay. Lovely. So yep, there you go. We're gonna pick up some ammo, and we're just gonna wait. Just gotta wait. Gotta wait for these fellas to catch up. And there's always this one right here who slacks off behind a little bit. So we're just gonna have to wait for him to catch up a little bit before the next part of the mission progresses. So it's a bit boring, but it is what it is, you know. He does, to be fair. That, and also what he's got, like 8 tons of explosives strapped to his back, I suppose. So I mean, you try carrying that through the sewers, you know, dirty, rotten, skanky water. Yes, I have to protect them at the moment. So essentially, I believe it is slight RNG to how many of these can spawn. I could be completely wrong in saying that, but sometimes I think upwards of 40 can spawn, sometimes I think upwards of 30 can spawn. So I'm going to try and save yellow ammo because I need it, or I need it for the next mission. I say as I'm completely spraying with it. Yeah, if even one of these guys die, mission just completely restarts. If I die, mission has to completely restart. So that's all of them. Yeah, best not to die. Yeah. So that's all of them. We're just gonna traverse through here. We're just gonna wait for the guys to catch up again, and that is that mission complete. So the escort missions, they're the auto scrollers. That's what they're essentially called. It's an auto scroller, so. You know, just gotta do the best with what you can. I'm actually going to do a anything that's not PS2 exclusive trick here actually, because I believe it's faster on PS2 just to take this elevator up. We're going to hover up here, and the door's already open. Usually on the PS2, because of load times, we're going to have to wait for that door to open a little bit. But, you know, we can just hover up there and be on our merry way. There's actually a death warp that you can do there. I believe when the elevator's coming up, if you jump back down, to it, you can just die and it will spawn you in the red part of the city again. So at this point, about 70-ish%, I want to say. I think. Could be completely wrong, because after this mission, it is considered the end of the early game. So in the speed run, we've categorized it by early, mid, and late game. Gotta focus on this hover really quick, actually. Oh, there we go. Gotta clear this building, and then we're gonna do a free fall. What's called a free fall. Essentially, mashing X jump in the falling animation will let us control whereabouts we land. So that's nice. We're gonna kill this and go to the next one. So what was I saying? I was saying about the early, mid, and late, right? Yeah, we've categorized this as early, mid, and late game. So at the end of this mission, we go into the start of the mid game. I believe it's categorized. So fastest, pardon, free, just free these. So the fastest way to kill them, as you saw, just jump, spin, and shoot, because you're hitting them, you're punching them with your spins. Oops. Okay, you're punching them with your spins, and you're shooting them at the same time. So they're taking like lots and lots and lots of damage all at the same time. And then you can clear them pretty quickly. So that's really lovely, yeah. At the end of this mission will be considered the end of the early game, and we should be about 70% of the way through, I would imagine. Because next is a very, very scary mission actually that I'm not looking forward to, but we're gonna try. It's the race. It is the Class 2 race, and why it's so scary, you might be wondering, oh, why is a race scary? Just going around the circle 5 times. It's a little more complex than that, because we do something called lap skips, and they can be influenced by other races. They can also be influenced by my own stupidity. So we're just gonna see what happens. We'll see if I can do them. If I can't, if I do, I might even play it safe and just go for 2 or 3 of them just to show them off, and then just play it normally. That wall isn't solid on Azuma, by the way. So if you have this game at home, by all means, go for it. Go through that wall all you want. It's lovely. So yep, the very first, this is one of the scariest parts of the run for me, and this is where a lot of my runs nowadays die actually. Like I have to reset a lot of my runs to this race just because I mess up the lap skips. I haven't got a boost either, so this is a little bit risky. I'm going to take it a little bit safer. I'm going to grab this one. As I mentioned as well, I am spam jumping around the corner just to get a little bit of a sharper turn. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was one of the lap skips. It is not very nice. It's so very easy to misjudge your angle, mess it up, and just completely die and have to do the whole race again. There you go. Okay. Should we start to play it safe now, do you think, or should we... I'll do one more. Very risky. Oh, okay. We could probably do another one. It is still really risky, but I'm seeming to... I'm going to jinx myself if I say anything else, actually. We'll try another one. If it fails... It fails. Okay. How far ahead? I'm lap 5. These guys will be about lap 3 by now, so... You know, just to be really, really safe, I'm not going to do the last one. I'm just going to go and do it normally, because if I die right now, I have to do all 5 laps again, and I really don't want to do that. So, you know, that's pretty decent, you know? First lap could have been better. The fastest I've ever done that was 1 minute and 21 seconds. The world record of whoever's done that faster is 1 minute and 19 seconds. So not far off, but it's not the nicest thing to do. Imagine going through that over and over and over again, you know, doing those skips, and then you know, it's not the nicest thing to do in the world. So imagine that though, doing those skips. Oh, I've crashed. That's not good. I can grab another one. I'm gonna do a trick here anyway. It's a restart wall, and I'm gonna need a zoomer to do this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna pull back on the zoomer and then jump up with the zoomer like this, and I should be high enough to do this. There's a checkpoint box for whatever reason up in this area that puts us a little further into the city. Nice, we got it. There you go. Just a little further into the city, and now we're up here. So we can just do. We're not going to do a hover. Okay, the game said no. Even sometimes, you know, professionals, you know, we can struggle with the tricks. Not claiming I'm a professional by any means, but you know. Okay, we're going to do another hover here. I'm going to hover as high as I can. Can you see a pattern by any chance? You know, we're doing hovers quite often. So we're gonna hover as high as I can. I'm gonna pause the game. There you go. The light has spawned. So we're gonna land down here. Gonna grab the peacemaker. This is a new gun that we've got. We're gonna grab. That was not what I intended to do, but that is completely fine. So we're gonna grab a gun here, grab all the ammo for a little bit later on, and we're just gonna go on to the next mission, which. How fun, it's another race, so I'm going to do a little bit of a skip here. Instead of going, when you go into certain interiors, the game forces you to walk, you can't run. So we're just going to go over the building and land inside the cutscene trigger just to save a little bit of time. And now for the most fun race of them all, the Errol race. This, as a beginner, was the most painful thing I've ever done. Because the game of the game, you need to hit every single one of these rings in order to progress the level. I tell a lie actually. No, you don't have to hit these rings, but you can't miss one. Is more the point. So if I miss this ring, for example, and then hit this one, the mission will fail, and I'll have to do the mission again. So there is a strat coming up here that I'm gonna opt not to do actually because I'm not very good at it. It's called ringless. Instead of going to the right here, we go to the left and spawn the other rings. But because we've missed these rings over here, we can't hit another ring if we go to the left there. So we have to dodge every single ring. Every single ring. Okay. My vehicle's invincible, we're fine. Yeah, we have to, if we took the shortcut and did the ringless strat, it's called ringless, we would have had to dodge every one of these rings, and we're not going to get the speed boosts from them. And because of a little mechanic called rubber banding, our opponent can catch up to us very, very quickly. Essentially, the further away, you'll see him do it on the map actually. You saw him go into the grey area on the map there. He goes through the walls to try and catch up to you. If you go too far ahead of him. If you're too fast, he'll go through the walls to try and catch up, and if you're too slow, I believe he slows down like quite significantly. Yeah, essentially he cheats just to catch up to you. So yeah, if by missing the rings we're not getting any speed boosts either, so he can very, very easily catch up to us. There you go, that was a sub 2. Sub 2 minute race is what we like to see without doing the ringless strat. Optimal ringless strat would save about 7 seconds, I think. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong in the Twitch chat or in anywhere else, but yeah, we're off to the next mission. I will mention actually there is a death warp right there that I've just passed that I'm not going to do. Realistically, it would be faster to do, but I'm opting not to do it because I've experimented with it before, and from my findings, you see on the map there, the mission has just spawned. From my findings, if you die, the mission like resets its spawn timer for whatever reason. So if you die there, you have to wait for the mission to spawn for even longer. And I've had it where I've gone into this area in the wrong mission, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm gonna hover through the wall here. Usually there's like a really long gauntlet of stuff that you have to do, but no, the mission's done. Nice. Just skip the everyone's least favorite part of Jak II, the Titan suit, which is very fun. I'm gonna do something called Ghost Town. I'm gonna try anyway. This is a really not great angle. We're gonna free fall into it. Nice. Okay. Essentially, by going over there, we have eliminated the waiting point in between the airlock. So the airlock takes a second to open, a second or two to open, and we've eliminated that waiting point. But because we haven't gone through there, we haven't given the city a chance to properly load. So there's no vehicles on the area, there's no map, there's no enemies, that kind of thing. It just makes going to that death warp a little bit easier. I'm gonna do this death warp here as well. That should work. Yes, okay. And would you believe it? We're gonna do another hover. We're gonna try anyway. Might have to go around. This might be a bit. Oh no, we're fine. We're fine. Nice. Okay, just want to give a shout out to Zyphals, fellow runner, who crashed on going through these pots on the PS2, which is I will always bring, I've said this to him before, I will always bring this up whenever I'm playing this game at like one of these types of events. Can't pull the Zyphals, can't crash on those, you know. It'd be so funny if I crashed on that actually. You know, we're going to do another hover over here, take another death, and that will put us over a little bit closer to our destination. Those death warps you're going to see a lot more frequently. We're coming, actually, I would argue we're just either slightly under or slightly over halfway through the game at the moment. Like it could go either way here, so just going to hover over here, going to do another death warp, would you believe it? And that's going to put us right outside. It didn't. I did it wrong. That's great. I've actually been failing that a lot recently. I've not that well practiced with this one as of late, but I'm going to try and spam to get over. Okay, that should work. So we're going to fall down here now. Yes, now it's one stop here. It's very nice. Just a lot more waiting for a little minute. A lot of this part of the game is the waiting, so well, happens. It's a really comfy chair actually. Just complete side note. I was gonna ask, can I have one? Never actually had one of these. I have a similar one at home, but it's a completely different brand. Never sat in one of these. It's really comfy actually. Yeah, we're just gonna wait and do this next part. We're going to restart the mission here as opposed to starting it later on, because by restarting the mission here, it just skips. Oops, sorry, did not mean to do that. Just skips us right to our destination. But because we've done that, we can't skip later on. We can't restart the mission later on. I'm not going to use any weapons here either. We're going to try and pick up some ammo, and it helps to actually have full ammo when you're trying to pick up ammo. So we're low on blue ammo. Okay, I've held that already, but this guy's going to get hurt. Yep. Essentially the aim of the game here, we're going to defend our friend here. We're going to defend our friend here from various attacks from these guys. I'm going to use the gun a little bit here because it's a little bit dangerous. Essentially, the idea is to grind for purple ammo. So if by not using the gun here, we get the ammo for the gun that we're supposed to have. So I have 195 ammo here. I'm full ammo on the blue gun. It should only give me purple gun ammo now because I'm full ammo on every other gun as well. I'm only missing ammo in the purple gun. Not anymore, but I was only missing ammo in the purple gun. Trying not to get hit by these guys because it will be a very unfortunate time loss. I should have 9. Yeah. We're looking for full ammo in this gun just because it's something that we need to do later. We're now full ammo in this gun, and we should be coming to the end of this section actually. Yeah, should be these guys. Should be another set of them on the right-hand side. Yeah, should be another set of the jetpack fellas as well. Unless I'm completely misunderstanding. No. Okay, so there should be these two. Should be these two. Yeah, there's more on this side as well. They should be the last jetpack fellas though. So kill those jetpack guys. Kill these guys. There should be two behind us. And now that should be all of them. I'm also going to pick up the rest of this ammo. Yeah, that's all of them. So I'm just going to preemptively leave the area. Is the thing, that's all of them. Oh no, there's one left. Cheeky, who's hiding. Okay, I'm going to preemptively leave the area. Now that he's dead, yes, camera pans out, mission's over, so... There you go, preemptively leave the area just so I'm closer to the exit. Yeah, very nice. I think, was I in the middle of saying something and I completely lost my train of thought? Yeah, we need the purple ammo for something later on, so we pick that up now, just a little bit more convenient. Just a little bit more waiting. So if I should explain as well, if I didn't restart the game, well, if I didn't restart the mission at the start, I could have restarted the mission here instead, and it would have just taken me right to the entrance of the place. Just makes life a little bit faster. It's complete preference who wants to do what, but you know. So we're gonna do another ghost town here. Just hover down over to this area. Do another hover over here, and we're gonna take a death. Ghost town makes things like this so easy because there's nothing to get in your way. That might not work. Actually, I didn't go in far enough. No, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't go far enough. It's okay though. I can actually now show how it's a lot more annoying with all of the enemies spawned all over the map and stuff. So you can see like there's vehicles going in and out and everywhere. It's more prevalent on PS2 because the more things that are on the screen on the PS2, the harder, well, the more it will lag. So we've just accepted a mission from our friend Bruta here, but we're not gonna go do that mission right now. Instead, we're gonna go to another mission that for some reason stays loaded. And the important part here is not to die. That's the idea. We're gonna try not to die, because if we die, then I will lose what's called lurker storage. These, you can see the 6 objectives there on the side. Those are the lurkers. They were enemies in the first game, and now we're trying to save them for a bit of extra money on the side, I believe. So yeah, we're trying to save them because they're locked in cages. That's the lore part of it, anyway. Completely lost what I was going to say again. Yeah, we're going to do a mission instead, lurker storage. That was what I was going to say. Okay, just come back to me. So these lurkers, by not doing this mission now and going to do these missions, this mission stays in the game's memory. This mission will stay in the game's memory, so once we're done with these 2 missions, I can just restart the mission and it'll put me right back to where I started the mission, which is really, really nice. So is a level where the start is actually at the end is actually at the start. So there's the end of the level. Just gonna take a little detour up here, and then that's the end of the level. We've got one more to go through right now, which is a little scary. A little bit scary, but we'll try. We're gonna try our best. Okay, I got a little bit scared then because the black screen was a lot longer than it probably should have been. Just gonna walk down here, you know, just out of bounds. Feel like it. This will also skip a large portion of this level, so we walk past an invisible wall. The developers did not think we could just walk past that, so they didn't extend it all the way down. We're gonna walk past that invisible wall, and we're gonna enter the building a little bit later than we normally should. And as a result of that, there you go, we're going to land on here. I'm still being really careful to not die, because if I die, as we say, we lose the storage of the lurkers. The game completely forgets that that's in memory, so we'll have to do something called the driver shame. Let that happen. We gotta be really careful. Okay. Played that a little bit dangerously, but we got both the switches, that's all that matters. Both the switches, that's all that matters, and then off we go. Onwards to the next thing. This is the mission that I mentioned before about the Titan suit. This is the Titan suit. It's really slow, really bulky, and it's mostly reserved for these types of missions in this game, so we're glad to skip any part of this suit. So instead of waiting for the fire, we're actually going to walk on the very, very edge here, because for some reason it doesn't actually hit us on the very, very edge here. So, alright, we're doing well so far. We're going to go now up to the computer room up here, which is a little bit sketchy, and I will tell you why. Because of the enemies that spawn in here, the game thinks it's trying to help you by automatically locking onto the enemies. But as you can see, we need to punch these computers out. And point in case right there, the game tried to auto-lock onto the enemies instead of hitting the computer. No matter how close you are, it will always try and hit the enemy. So the best strategy realistically is just to let them attack you. Try not to lose too much health, let them attack you, because if they're on top of you, you can't punch them. So be doing that. There you go, they just all despawn now. Now this is a really scary section. And you should know actually, you saw me do this bit a lot back in the hotel. So yeah, we're gonna wait here. I failed a trick there, but that's completely fine. I'm gonna take this a little bit safer than I normally would, just because, as we say, if we die, we have to drive all the way back, and that's a minute time loss. Could actually be upwards of a minute and a half. Usually you can do this section much faster than I'm doing it, but I'm just gonna take it as safe as possible here, just because it's better safe than sorry. You know, I don't want to lose a minute just to be fast in that section. It's just unfortunate. So there you go. And that's that level done. And as a result, because we haven't died, I can show this off as a result. So there they are. They're the lurkers. We're just going to restart the mission. I restart the mission, and ta-da! Puts us right back where we originally started the mission. So now we can go off and do this mission. Otherwise, you saw the journey that I took to get to those other two missions before. I would have had to take that journey again, but in reverse. It would have taken a while. You know, it's a minute or two of time save just there. Oh, he shot really far. Just gonna save some lurkers right now. These are our friends in this game. They're not trying to kill us this time, so it's really nice. I'm gonna do a little strat here. I'm not gonna kill him just yet. I'm gonna put him to like one hit left, and when he turns the corner, I'm gonna shoot him. There you go. If I did that correctly, he should have realistically launched out and landed nearby here, but the game is trying to path him towards my vehicle so he can jump onto the vehicle. But if I stand over the point that they're supposed to get to, the game doesn't care. It's like, oh, you're in the vicinity of the thing that you need to go into, so just pop into that thing instead. You know, so that just makes it a little bit easier. Just makes life a little bit easier. There's 4 more of these. It's a 3-minute mission actually. It's just kind of a little break in the run. And I know it's not a lot of people's favorites. But it's quite fun. You know. No, I tell a lie. It's not fun at all. Like I mean, I'm all for it. Like, free the animals. I'd rather be doing anything else, you know. I'd rather be flying about the city on my hoverboard. Yep. Okay, he was gonna blast off in the other direction there, so by shooting him, even if it was, I will admit it was accidental shooting him there. He staggers in the air and then just falls straight to the floor. So we can just pick him up, well, we can just guide him over to the next area. So These two I'm going to have to be quite careful on, just because these two I have to be quite careful on because if they fall in the water, it's game over. Also, right there, you may have seen that was a Ratchet & Clank poster. It was a cameo from the other dynamic duo of the PlayStation era, which is really, really cool that Naughty Dog decided to honour the other Jak games by that. Alright, we've got really good RNG here, actually. So I mentioned this game is an RNG fest. I missed almost every bullet, but the game can choose to make that lurker vehicle go either that way to the right of me, or the way that it went, and it went the way that it went there. So it just makes it a little bit easier. If I shot it properly there, it would have launched directly next to the little thing he's supposed to go into. And then once he's in there, you know, and it's the mission over. It's a lot faster, it's a lot safer. And now is on to another very fun part of my evening. This is a Class 1 race. This is not very fun. I should mention actually, with that lurker, the lurker mission, we have entered the end game. This is now the end game of the game. There's only about 6 or 7 missions left, so shouldn't be too long. Yeah, there are lap skips that we can do for this one, but I'm opting not to go for them, and there's a reason for that, because they are hard and I don't like them. They're not as easy as the Class 2 ones, because the Class 2 ones, like you might have seen, I positioned myself in a bunker, and then I used myself to boost over the wall. With this one, I have to bounce myself off a wall, and I land where I am now, which it's fast, don't get me wrong, and honestly probably could get my world record back, which is something I didn't mention. Just gonna briefly say in conversation. I did have the PS4/PS5 world record for this game way back in April, but it has been recently taken, and I have not yet challenged it. So, you know, who knows? Maybe that'll be a little bit of a challenge for me to try and grab that. Yeah, I'm just going to take this mostly safe, just because we bounce off this wall to my left, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like people say, oh, it's kind of free, you should just go for it. It's really, really easy to do. And yes, don't get me wrong, it is quite easy to do. I'm fully capable of doing it. It's just more if I get a poor angle, which will happen 20%, well, more than 20% of the time, more around like 60-70% of the time. As a result of that, I will just fail the mission. I'll explode, I'll die, or my vehicle will be on fire. It will take too long to finish the race, and there'll be no point, you know. The vehicle will be really, really slow, and there's every chance that I will be lapped. Right now, these guys, because they done terribly, they're still on lap 4, while we're on lap 5, so there you go, that's the end, 2 minutes 5. Realistically, you want to aim for sub 2 minutes on that area. And now comes a lovely, fun little section. Oh, come on, okay. I missed that, there's one here. Okay. Well, I'm not the best at that, it turns out. Essentially what I was supposed to do there, if you noticed it said Palace Security Pass acquired, you can't interact with any of the vehicles in the game, because it says press triangle to use. That doesn't pop up on any of the vehicles on the game if that is already popped up, for example. So, in doing so, in pausing, it removes the waiting time for the Palace Security Pass acquired to pop up, so you can jump into a vehicle really, really quickly. I got away from these guys a lot faster than I probably should have, but you know, we're gonna do another little restart walk here. We're gonna do the same as before. Jump really, really high. That was a really high jump. I'm gonna restart the mission. What's going on over there, man? There's a lot of background noise. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted, but it's alright. We're coming close to the end of the game, actually. There's not that long left. So this is what I wanted to show off before, the little hover. So we hover into this section, and it puts us right outside where we need to be. Don't want to take credit for that, because I didn't didn't discover how to do that, but I do want to mention, I was partly, like, I did find some, like, little things to do with that. I think I found a different one that was proved to be a little slower, and then this new version was found. But, you know, we're not talking credit here, we're trying to speedrun, so I'm gonna sit and wait in this corner. It's another case, the end of the level is literally right at the start of the level, so we're just gonna hover over here. Hit like a little bit of a checkpoint there. The game thinks, oh wait, you've done the level, so we're just gonna go into here, restart the checkpoint, and that's the level done. So usually that's a really long gauntlet of, oh, you have to go around all these places, you have to do like a lot of crazy jetboard stuff. No, just really quick, you know, quick and simple, just up and down, you know, really quickly. This is a hover that I don't see anyone doing. I made it up, it's mine, I claim it. I claim that one. It's not too faster than just taking a vehicle and driving the rest of the way here, but I like doing it. It puts me in a direct line to the vehicle, and I get to do a hover, so it's the best of both worlds, you know. Speaking of the hover though, this is the biggest point of the hover, and I've failed it already. This is one of the biggest hover points of the game. Essentially, we want to go from the very start of the mission to the very end of the mission by dodging this light. I'm going to hover a little bit slower just so the rooms below me can load. There you go, the rooms below me have loaded. The camera, please don't. Okay. The camera got a little bit cold there, but that's fine. We want to land in this last room. It is a really, really long hover, and it's very unpleasant to learn at first, but, you know, when you've played for the past year, it's gets easier with time. Where am I? Oh, I fell. Just gonna make sure I actually do this properly. So what we want to do, we want to land up here and fall down this hole. Ideally not take damage, but it doesn't really matter. By doing that, it loads the boss death plane, which we've just flown into. It loads the boss death plane so you can go up to here, and the boss is now loaded. So pretty quick boss. All we need to do, just knock these guys off the edge really quick if we can. Doesn't take that long to kill them. Yeah, not really much going on at the moment. So I'm just gonna kill these guys as fast as possible, and then we're gonna do something called peacemaker stacking. Not in the first, maybe in the first phase. We'll see if we can do it. Actually, no, I don't actually remember how to do this version of it. So we're gonna not do that. Okay. I missed the shot, so I'm not gonna waste another peacemaker shot because I need it for the next phase. This is why we got all of the purple ammo before, because of a trick that's coming up at the end of the second phase. So I'm just gonna quickly go through that. Try to actually hit my bullets. These guys go down in 2 hits, pretty quick, pretty easy. Can even take a hit there, get vulnerability for a second, and kill the rest of them like that. We're missing one. There's one that's still alive. Yep, there you go. And he's dead. So we're gonna hit crew. This is I should mention actually, this is the crime boss that we were working for before. So we're going to hit him a little bit beforehand. I'm going to try and not just immediately die here because that would be unfortunate. Just going to do a jump. We're going to pull out the second gun and we're going to spin and charge. This tricks the game into charging 5 shots of the gun, and as a result, we hit him, it will finish the fight early, which is really, really cool. So essentially, by doing the double jump and the spin, or the high jump and the spin with the yellow gun out, it will spray a lot of bullets and all around you. It's a great way for clearing rooms. So yeah, by doing that, the game thinks I'm firing those 5, but it puts it into the purple gun instead, and the purple gun will still deal all of the purple gun damage. So just gonna wait out here. I'm gonna play a mini game. So. Yep, very, very quick one. See, something you could do actually. Yeah, Yes, you could. You're pressing 4 buttons. You're colorblind, aren't you? You wouldn't be able to. Yeah, not really much going on right now, so it's just a quick mini game, you know, back and forth. Just gonna hit. It's whack-a-mole. That's all I really have to say about this section. Probably be a good time to mention that this event is for charity. Specialeffect.org. Be sure you donate. Be sure giving to a great cause. Yeah. Gotta make sure I don't really miss any of these. Sometimes actually it might be optimal to hit one of the red ones just to take damage, because the next attack is instant instead of waiting for the animation of, oh, he's swinging it downwards, you know. Oh, I missed one. He's swinging it downwards instead. He's like he does it instantly instead of that. So it could be a quick like 0.5-second time save here and there, which honestly top runs of this game is probably needed, you know. Probably a good shout to. I could probably demonstrate it here. No, it didn't do it. Didn't do what I needed to do, so. Oh well. Accidentally hit one of them because I wasn't really paying attention, but there you go, that's the end of the mission. Gonna wait a second there and eat it up, PS2 users, we don't crash there. That is a very known crash spot on the PS2 especially, and older generations of consoles. Which is very fun. So I'm very sorry that I've insulted any of you there, but it is very rare that I crash there. It's not very rare that I crash here, actually. Okay, great. I deserve that. I'm sorry. I deserve that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, PS2 users. I love you. Yeah. Okay. Essentially, what we're doing here, by standing next to the elevator, it loads in the next part of the city. I roll jumped a little bit too far. Standing here, it loads in the underport, which is where we're off to. But by jumping there and not doing that, okay, a little bit of a mess up there. I actually hit the side of the building and it knocked me off. It made me lose all my speed. So a little bit unfortunate, but it's fine. Third time's the charm, you know. But yeah, we are loading the underport and deloading the city at the exact same time. Essentially, there you go. So what we want to do here, we want to do a double side flip, and we want to load the wall. We want to make sure that the wall loads behind us. Because if the wall loads behind us, the actual area will load behind us, and we can just land in this section. As we say, third time's the charm, off we go, and that's the end of the mission. Well, the first part of the mission. Now we have to protect our friend here. So, a few little box puzzles, really nice. Gonna outrun our, well, I think its actual in-game terminal, well, its in-game term is a metal bead. Because I should mention, we're fighting a war against these monsters called the metalheads. I've not really explained much of the story or what's going on here, but you know, it's a brilliant game. Honestly, would recommend picking it up on PS3, PS4, PS2, PS5, whatever you want. It's a brilliant game. One of my childhood favorites. Classic game. We're not here to sell Jak II as a video game, we're here to speedrun it, so I'm gonna do these box puzzles really quickly. Not really much to that there. Gonna wait. I like to wait here for him to shoot the platform. I like to wait for him to swap over and then shoot it myself, just to ensure it doesn't just randomly turn over on me and kill me, because this is another thing Jak II likes to do. It's allergic to the word checkpoint, so it doesn't like giving you a checkpoint. And this mission is no exception. If I die in this mission, I will have to go right back to the, not back to like doing the hover or anything like that, but I'll have to go right back to the very start. So that's the end of the mission, really quickly. Very nice. Gonna take the elevator up, and we are actually coming to the very, very end of the game. There's this last mission, and then there's a cutscene. That there's a bit of travel time between both of them, but after that there's a cutscene. After that cutscene, there's a bit of travel time. Then it's the final mission. After the final mission, it's the final boss. of the game. So we're coming up to that rather soon. Actually, it's actually kind of zoomed by, to be honest. You know, it's gone quite quick. But yeah, I'm gonna try a trick here that I'm probably not gonna get. It is one of the worst things to do in the history of the world, and I will disagree with anyone who says otherwise. The idea is we're going to use this zoomer similar to the last tomb skip. We're going to jump over the wall, but we're going to try and bring the zoomer with us. I'll try it twice more because, you know, it's 3 times the charm. Try it twice more, 3 times the charm. Once more. I'll try it once more. And if that doesn't work, we're just gonna go the long way. Because at that point, it won't be worth it. Oh, wherever. 3 times the charm. What were we saying? Alright. So we're going to go underneath the map here. We're going to just stay here for a second and load the palace. That will load the elevator at the very end. That was loud. Okay. I'll load the elevator over there. It's very nice. And we're going to do... We're not going to do that. Okay. Well, we're going the long way anyway. You know what? It was worth a try. It was worth a try. I got the hard bit done. I can't do the easy bit. I should probably take a vehicle here as well. At least try my best to take a vehicle. There's RNG, as we say, is not this game's strong suit. It's RNG, whether there's vehicle spawns, what type of vehicle spawns, you know, that kind of thing. That's why the early game is so honestly painful. That's why the early game's really, really painful to do. So I'll try and explain what I was trying to do with that. We take the vehicle out of bounds and we load the, we've called it the shaft because it's an elevator shaft. So it's called shaft skip, what we're trying to do in that sense. And what that would have done once we've gone under the map and loaded the shaft, we do a really, really, really long and high hover. We will land. Out of that hover, we would land roughly where I am now. Or actually to my right, where I am now to my right. And that will save about 40 to 45 seconds. Just to be safe, I'm going to pause there. That's a well-known crash spot. And yep, this is one of the last missions of the game. And it's an escort mission, so Naughty Dog loves to love us. They really do. Also, it's a good time to mention actually, this game looks pretty darn good. It's running natively on a PlayStation 5 right now, which probably is adding to it, but it's remastered for the PS4, and it is one of the worst ports of this game. I'll try my best to explain why actually really quickly while we have a bit of downtime. Oh, pardon me, apologies. It's one of the worst ports of this game because they directly emulate it from the PS2, which on paper sounds plausible, but with that the PS2's problems, the control scheme is slightly different. And I'd say the control scheme is slightly different because once you're well, I believe that when you're walking, you can only walk in 8 directions, and when you're crouching, you can only move in 16 directions instead of a full 360 circle. Jak kind of snaps into a direction. He's having fun, you know, snaps into a direction, and you're forced to go in that direction. It makes turning a lot harder. To counteract that, you can move the camera around, and it lets you move in more of a fluid 360-degree motion. PS2, PS3, none of them have that problem. It is only the PS4 version. And I should mention, there is no PS5 version of this game. I am running the PS4 version via backwards compatibility, so... Okay, now we're going to the cutscene that I was talking about. We have dodged that crash point. There's a very well-known crash point at the end of the stadium there, at the end of that mission, so we dodge it by waiting at the end of that cutscene for a second. This is the death warp I was talking about before that I said it wasn't really worth going to because it like loaded the mission like at a really weird time. So by doing that, oh, okay. Never ever put me here. I think I went a bit too far right. Okay, no, it's not supposed to put me there, but you know what? We'll take it. That's not too bad. I think I went a little bit too far to the right. That's something new. Oh well. Okay, good shot. Gonna do another death wall. We're gonna try and do another death wall, but I'm kind of getting bullied here. That's the problem with this part of the game. This part of the game pushed the PS2 to its limits just because of how many things are on screen at the same time. Like you see on the map how many purple dots, red dots, all of the dots are on the screen. Those are loaded enemies and loaded entities. So we're going to do these death warps, and then we're going to go this way instead of the way that we went before. These death warps just make it so we're getting here a little bit faster. We're going to do one more really long hover. This hover is a bit scary. Nice, okay, so we're going to land over here. Land over here, and we're going to hopefully not crash. Nice. We didn't crash. Woo! Lovely. Woo! Didn't crash. Alright. So that's the final cutscene, by the way. We skipped the final cutscene and we're going on to the very last level. We're just gonna wait for the door to open, and we're gonna do a few more hovers, and then you can say goodbye to the hover trick until Jak III. Because it appears a lot in that game too. Which, while I'm here, shoutouts to Ricky and Bob. Actually, I was gonna attend ESA in Sweden, but that was sadly unable to. But they put on a really good show of Jak III. They did a race of one of Jak III's categories, no out of bounds. It was very cool. Shout out to those two, love them. Right, this is one of the final hovers of the game. We're at the end of the level, end of the game. There's one last hover. So we've done, that's the final one of the final cutscenes. We're going to do one final hover. And there's one, ignore that. Okay, we'll do it again. It's fine. You know, the lightning is made in a, see that? The lightning's made in a weird way where it'll lag. But you're legally not allowed to end the speedrun without doing the really cool swag hover right there. Okay, we're going to go into this corner to start the cutscene a little early, and we're going to just face away from Paul. Just going to shred his health bar down really quickly, and we're going to do the Peacemaker stacking that we did for crew. We're going to shoot him, takes his health bar really far down, and now it's the final phase of the fight. We're coming up on time, by the way, I should mention it's coming very quickly in. I've always been really bad at shooting really quickly in this fight. Shoutouts to Ricky though, he definitely helped me learn how to fire a lot quicker with this. Time ends on last hit, and we're very close. Let's wait for him to attack. Oh, I should mention as well, those purple rays, they're a bug only on the European releases of this game on PS4. So thanks Naughty Dog, appreciate that one. They look lovely. And that is time. It's the end of the game, yeah? Woo! Oh god, it's a fun game. No, please don't. It's a fun game, but it's not. It's a pain. It's a pain in the backside to do that over and over and over again. You can imagine you mess one thing up and then you have to do the whole thing over again, and then it's just yeah, it's true. I don't actually know what the time was there actually.
I can tell you that the time was 1 hour, 6 minutes and 39 seconds.
There you go. Slightly over estimation, but there you go, 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Have you got anything that you'd like to say before we begin setting up the next run?
Yeah. As far as that, yeah, also I would like to say, I don't know if they still are, but I want to give a quick shout out to the Jak speedruns community. Would not be as far in this game as I am without them, and also I do believe they're sitting in a Discord call watching right now, so shout out to you boys, appreciate that, and thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to donate, it's a great cause that we're playing for, and hope I've done this game justice, you know, so. Yeah.
Well, with that said, we are going to be setting up the next and unfortunately last run of the day, which is going to be 3 Gotistical with Super Mario Odyssey in the any percent category. So please do stick around for that. And of course, we are doing everything that we're doing this weekend to try and raise money for the fantastic charity Special Effect. Would you like to learn more about Special Effect? I'm sure you would. Well, if you do, stick around and watch this short informational video from Special Effect themselves.